Hello everyone, and welcome to another speed draw. I am your humble host, Dear Darling Honeyboy, and today, as the title may suggest, I will be drawing the Drawtectives. From Drawtectives, made by the lovely Julia Lepetit and the rest of the Drawfree crew. For any uninitiated, Drawtectives is a art-based, TTRPG-esque mystery show, and there is 2 whole seasons out, and season 3 is currently coming out 1 episode a month. So, watch it. Do it. It's great. Not only will I be drawing the Drawtectives, but I will be drawing them in different styles. In this video, I'm gonna draw 2 of them, and I'm gonna make a part 2 where I draw the other 2. First up is our favorite half-orc prince, York Ragdoll, if I remember right. And I decided to draw him in the style of SDKay, or K, or Rebelflet on Tumblr. Specifically, these ink portraits that they did, I think, on Comic-Con Russia. I just really... I like the way they draw faces, and the, like, structure and the short noses, I think, would work really well drawing York. So I whipped out the pose fast for me. This speed draw, like, in general, was a big learning experience for me. So, you know, and it went through some ups and downs, you'll see. But a lot of the process, as you may see, is me moving and, like, correcting details, like minuscule details, and just doing that over a long period of time. So I had to cut a bit, not for time, but because I don't think there's any, like, I don't think there's a great entertainment value in watching me fight this guy's nose for, like, minutes on end. There were also, like, awkward pauses where I was just looking at reference, just looking at it real close, trying to figure out what they were doing. On top of, like, the very structured faces, they have very special shapes, I feel like, when K have very special shapes when they draw muscles in a way that really communicates, like, 3D form. And I really, I feel like that helped with making the arms look good. So that was, like, a part of the learning experience. Studying the style more or less, I think, will, you know, I think it really will give me something for the future. I wanted to draw, besides, like, the body, the full body, half body, I wanted to draw like a smiling portrait to capture, like, the dumbass energy. But I do not keep it. So all this sculpting, you see a second face. Nope. Nope. So Kay does this nice thing with faces, like this very particular thing with this very thin lines for the cheekbones and under the mouth. That I think it's very cute. I think it looks very good, and specifically and especially for, like, I was about to say a jack dude, but with someone who's gonna have a bit more of a structured face. I was also a bit, like, I struggle a bit with figuring out York's nose, just because the conversion between styles was is quite big, and he has, like, this straight down and then, like, button nose, and I didn't really know how to translate that. But so it ended up being the kind of rounded square shape that is pretty, like, a me style thing, and I wasn't very happy about that, to say the least. But I just left it like that for the time being. something I struggled with big time was trying to find like a good ink brush for this, because I wanted to like in vain mimic the how the portraits looked. The ink, since that's like, since I wasn't gonna render it, I felt like the ink was very important, and I struggled with line quality like in general. I don't really know why, but on multiple days I tried to do line art, and I was like, I just suck today. Why does it look so bad? But for now, that's just like we'll get to that anyway. I changed up the design a little bit, mainly that I didn't draw the flannel because I did not want to figure out how to draw flannel, and flannel that is like knotted or like tied around the waist. That was not something I felt like doing. So instead I gave him like the hanging suspenders. I thought it looked pretty good. Gave it a bit of like dynamic, a bit of movement. I don't know what material York's jacket is in the new design. It does not look like it's leather, and the color I know doesn't really look like the one I drew, but there was such a wealth of reference for like those kind of colors. And like the black heavy inks that they do makes it look a bit leathery. So I decided to lean into that. I really like that look, and I feel like with the face style and how structured and so on the style is, it feels like very classic Western comic-y in a way that really scratches my brain. I don't really consume too much media, so trying to find art styles was pretty difficult. So I was out like looking on the internet trying to find something, and I stumbled on these portraits, and I thought, it's like, damn, I really like how this artist do faces. I really like the rendering style. And I was like, I need to find them. I need to look at their other stuff. And it's like, oh, they do a lot of horny art. But, you know, why else would you get good at drawing? Also, that specific thing with like, I like how they draw faces. Oh, they draw horny stuff. That happens to me all the time. It's just, but yeah, again, why else would you get? Why else would you get good at art? Here I start to struggle with line art, and I cut away a lot of attempts, as well as me being on like the Clip Studio asset store, trying to find a brush that I liked more. But the brush I am using, it's called Hemo something. It's pretty unusual for me. It's like calligraphy style, I don't know, where it's flat on one side and thick on the other. I wasn't very happy with that hair, which is super stupid because now looking back at it, I'm like, that was good. But you know how we do it. You can't really see it at the time, but well. And I just start over and over and over again trying to make it look good. And I was just getting so upset over the fact that it didn't look clean. I'm really obsessed with my clean lines, and especially since it was gonna be like, oh, ink is gonna be the thing. I thought it was very important, but also trying to make it look effortless, the way that the way that the portraits do. I think that's a big charm of it, the fact that it looks effortless. And every time that happens, when I try to copy or imitate a style that is that is effortless or comes naturally and fast to the one who does it, it just takes extra long time for me, which is just ironic. It's so incredibly ironic, and kind of makes me feel like that's not necessary. We really need to make it effortless for us too, for me too. But here I committed, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the line art, even though if it doesn't look very good, I can just use it as a sketch for the next round over. But spoiler warning, I do actually keep it, because trying to ink over something that I already liked, it's pretty stupid, even though my brain didn't like the fact that it wasn't clean lines. But again, can you tell? Not really. I really liked how the arms turned out. That was big point of pride. Really like it. Again, in general, I liked how it turned out. My biggest thing was just like, I wanted the clean lines, and I wanted it to look like explicitly like the style I was imitating, which, you know, it's pretty dumb. But just going in, I think I did the hair and the face in a smaller brush, and I think that threw me when it came to like not feeling like it was good enough. So I'm right back doing like what I did before I did that round of line art. Just going through brushes, trying to figure it out. See, I tried to go over with like my normal ink brush. That didn't look good. But in the end, I was like, we just have to commit. We just have to do this. So I went in and I thickened up the lines on the hair that I used to thin a brush on in general, or the first pass. So the entire process became less about just mimicking the style, and more about acceptance, and just thinking like things aren't going to be perfect because there is no such thing. And also just continuing this piece that I was genuinely happy with, even though it didn't look exactly like the style I was trying to imitate. And in doing that, I also kind of wanted to render it. So I went and looked at the style that I was originally gonna do this piece in, because before I went out and looked for art styles, I was planning to draw York in the style of Paolo Parente, but specifically the illustrations, specifically Paolo Parente's illustrations in Cyberpunk 2020 second version. And it's such a comically deep pull, but it's one of the few pieces of media that I consume. So I went back and looked at that and started to and took inspiration from that in a rendering style, because I wanted to render it. I thought it was gonna look nice. I also, like, I thought it would be funny to do a cyberpunk thing since York's season 3 arc was becoming punk. So I thought it was going to be it was going to be a very fun idea. But it's also like it's like 1990s, early 2000s, like a little bit nasty looking, and I don't think I would have been able to do that. I think I would have struggled more than I did with this style, just because how casual it looks. This one does not look fast and dirty. Obviously, it's a very clean style, but the cyberpunk ones does look like it, and it's charming, and I really like looking at it. So that's what I did. I was a bit concerned about like overdoing it on the rendering, but I think I ended up in a place in a nice place. In a place that I was happy with. Even if, like, his muscles are, he can be a bit shiny, okay? His muscles can be a bit shiny. Just, I wanted to make them pop, because, you know, he's a strong boy. You have to recognize it. You have to recognize him, you have to recognize it, and you have to tell him that. It's Polar's culture. But I was just futzing around with, like, doing, overlaying a halftone on everything. That was also, like, quite a bit cut away when I was just looking through the materials, the assets. I'm just like, how does this work? But I figured it out at some point. I ended up being very happy with the York piece. It's like partially because the learning experience, the fact that it went like pretty fast in my standards. I feel like it was pretty dynamic. The style, case style, really, I think made me. I'm gonna have a lot of takeaways, like so that's nice. And I also felt like the attitude and the likeness of York came through. Next up is Eugene. And, you know, although not really a purebred drawtective, I feel like Julia deserves her blorbo drawn. And it was also like such an obvious thing to do. It was such an easy, like, oh, I need to draw him in the style of Kentucky Route Zero, obviously. I put a disclaimer in the beginning of the video, but I'm going to reiterate, this video contains no Kentucky Route Zero spoilers, because you need to play that game, and I'm not going to say anything. Not names of characters, no nothing. You're gonna see pictures, but it's like top of the Google search, no context, kind of thing. So I decided to do season 2 Eugene instead of season 3, just because I really like the silhouette of the collar. Editing Honey Boy here. I didn't realize that there was a full body of season 2 Eugene, like a reference. So I really just pulled the lower half of his design out of my ass. It turned out good, but it's not accurate. I don't really know where I got that from, or why I even thought of, like, why I didn't think of looking. It's sad because his outfit is like really on point. I just gave my man pants. It's just, you know, slightly embarrassing, but nothing I can do about it now. It's so weird. And I had this idea in my mind, but it didn't work, and I again, it's like themes. I had to pose, tried to figure out the background, didn't really work. So, like, stupidly enough, the second I turned off screen recording, I was like, I'm just gonna play around a bit, see what I can do, and then I just managed to whip out, like, the sprite, or, like, the Eugene itself, off camera, and that really sucked. I'm sorry. And in the same vein, I was like, I don't really know what to do with this composition. And then I was like, I don't know if I was going to bed or like gonna go to work. But I was like, shit, I have an idea, I need to get it down. So I just scribbled it in my sketchbook. But I wanted to do these like ghost hands inspired of the promo art, the promo pieces that Julia did for season 2. I like looking at an artist's work when you know like media they like, so you can see where they get things from. Kentucky Route Zero has these polygon but it has a specific polygon shape that they use. So I didn't want to hand draw those or like copy and paste them all the time. So I was like, okay, how do you make a brush? And you can see I used like the shape I liked from the sketch of the the big polygon he stands on, and tried to figure out like, how do I make this look good to get the effect I wanted with like the platform disintegrating under his feet, so he stands on it and then it disintegrating out. I kind of needed a shape that would communicate perspective in that way. So after a lot of attempts, I managed to find a way to get like a polygon that worked with the perspective. I will link the tutorial I used. Credit to that person. You can see I really tried to figure out this platform situation, and I have like a big hunk of screen recording that is just me trying to do that I didn't include because it's like it was just blotting out polygons. So here you can see I'm using the polyline tool to get in the shapes of our Eugene, looking at like how they do in the game. I was impressed over the fact that I was able to do this successfully, and that I could do it like kind of fast, even if it's a simple style. I usually like the simpler or the less detailed it is, the harder time I have like imitating it, because every shape matters much more. I didn't really know what to do for the colors, so I did just a bunch of color picking. It's not my strong suit, really. Trying to figure out like the back of the coat was a bit of a struggle, but it turned out. I didn't really find a reference for hands in that angle. I tried to, I wanted to get like a ghostly effect on the hands, obviously. But I didn't like how it looked with the polygon. So I decided to walk away or like stray a bit from the original style. Because I don't think they use gradients that much, and I'm pretty sure they don't use that kind of textures. But for effect, I strayed, and it was just like an artistic decision. It's fine. Just like with the York one, it's like, we're gonna do what feels good, what looks good to me. I can't really overstate how, like, just strangely big impact Drawtectives had when season 2 came out. I had just I was like, for the first time in years, in a position to make friends and it was like in an art context, so everyone was artists, and TTRPGs was relevant to an extent. So I decided, like, as a fun thing, like, I'm going to commit, I'm going to make a Drawtectives for my new friends, or like to get to know these people better. And so I did. And somehow it's really miraculous how fast I whipped that out. I don't think I will ever be able to do something like that. Holy shit! But I did that, and it launched me into like DMing, which now is like one of my biggest hobbies. It's one of the things I do is DMing, and so that was huge. It was also just very fun, getting to know these people and getting to make friends, and just encouraging this new hobby. So again, huge thank you to Julia Lepetit. Unexpectedly just changed the trajectory of my life pretty majorly. So yeah. Once again, fixing with the platform, trying to make it look the way I wanted to, but in the end, all these attempts really paid off weirdly, because I end up using just the layers of them. Happy accidents, you know what I mean? I'm just color picking from the game. I'm just color picking from the game, trying to figure out like what would work best. I was also unsure whether to use like the green purple thing that is used for a lot of his art, or the more cyan-y, turquoise, light blue thing that the game got going for it. But I decided to lean into the game accurate colors, because I really like the colors. I really like that game, you know? You can see I tried to figure out like how to do something in the background for that. It's like the glowy line effect that a lot of the promo art featured, and I make this like cool galaxy-esque effect in the background, and I really liked it, and I was going to keep it, but at some point I accidentally clicked off when they warn you about deleting layers, and I accidentally deleted the fucking layer. And I was so mad, and I couldn't like recreate it, because the reason why I did it, I just didn't want to lose the hair against the dark background. I was very particular with that for some reason. I also decided to make the blacks more purple, so it could stick out against the background, because it wasn't black in reality. It's more like bluish, very dark blue. So there I ended in some stars just with my little polygon. Just struggling with the background a bit. Wanting to figure out how I would work that out. But in the end, I decided to just take away that and go make the black lighter, a bit like the game does. So, and that's it. In the end, I am kind of happy that the airbrushy thing disappeared, because it made it much cleaner, which I enjoy. And I can't. very happy with the results. I feel like I say that a lot, but I am. Especially how I felt like even though I neglected to do like some shading that they do on the sprites in the game, I feel like it is accurate enough for me to look at it and go, yeah, I did it. And still keeping it very Eugene and keeping it very Kentucky Route Zero. It just, great success. I also really liked I really liked how he looked just with the game accurate colors. So I just I have a transparent PNG of just a little game game color accurate Eugene standing there. The sprite was definitely my favorite part of it, but the hands does a lot. It's like it's a piece that you can look at from far away and like it, which it's just great. It's nice. And with that, we're done. So thank you for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. And I hope you liked seeing these two drawings come into existence. Don't forget to check out Drawtectives, check out Rebelflet on Tumblr, and buy Kentucky Route Zero. It's a very good game. Stay tuned for the next video, where I will be drawing the other two Drawtectives, Grandin and Rose. If you want more of me, you can catch me on Twitch, where I now stream quite often, also at Dear Darling Honeyboy. My VODs are on my VOD channel, which I will also link. I have a Patreon, where you can get high-res PNGs of the drawings from my videos. You can also buy my comic and hang out in a very cool Discord with the other patrons. Thank you to Erik Mellestal and Dean Sabine for bringing you this video. Until the next one, cheers. I hope you enjoyed these two speed draws. These two boys getting dragged through the mud. What? Will be linked if you want to eat my ass, dude. I can't, man. It's so funny also with Paulo Parente, those specific illustrations, because you can, like, I try to look at everything he was credited with, and nowhere do you find those illustrations. The only reason I know that he did it is because he signed it. And I was looking at the illustrations, I was like, I need to know. And there's multiple artists that did art for that book. But I just went like deep diving trying to find this thing, and wanting to confirm like it was this guy who did it. It isn't in his history. It's super weird. Just tells you how niche it is. He does art for Magic, I think, and Cyberpunk 2077. But nowhere does it say that. Also, if you're someone who likes role-playing games and really would enjoy a crunchy ass system, Cyberpunk 2020 second version is the game for you. A lot of stuff going on there. I really like it though. Also, you can very legally find a PDF of the entire book for free on the internet. Just saying. And with that, we're piss.